What's up, y'all? This is Reina Williams.
And I am JB the Jeweler.
And you are now tuned into
Somebody Come Look at This.
So what's good, man? You know what? I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
What? So I was talking to my wife. I showed my wife. I was like, "Oh, this all podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Getting it going." And she was like, "JB the Jeweler? Is he a jeweler?"
People love the name.
Yeah, you gotta tell me.
People love the name, and I've gotten it. It's a name that it's a nickname, I should say, that I got in when I lived in Newark for a little bit, and I remember, I used to be talking, and I like to tell people, my name's JB the Jeweler because I don't make bracelets or nothing, but I do drop gems.
All right.
I do drop gems.
Okay.
And I remember one of the guys, there's a guy named Thomas that used to live out there, right? And this guy, Thomas, I knew him. One of the coolest guys that I've ever met. He was 51, and he had done 26 of those 51 years in prison.
Wow.
Not continuously, but he had done bids of like 5 years, in and out of jails and stuff like that. So me and him used to always be chopping it up, and one day he that's what he said, man. He was like, man, he told me one time, he's like, man, when you talk, man, like, I just listen, man. I just like sit down. He's like, some of these other knuckleheads out here, bro. And I know it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but like toot. Sometimes you got to do that.
Toot, bitch.
Sometimes you got to do it. And so anyway, man, he told me one time, he's like, man, they should call you the jeweler, man. They should call you the jeweler because you just drop gems, man. And
all right, Thomas.
I like the way that sounds, man. And then my name is Jesse Barone. Honestly, that's my government name.
Government.
So JB the Jeweler. And then other people, I used to jokingly call myself that, JB the Jeweler, and I like the way it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, there's a nice ring to it. Cha-ching.
So yeah, man, that's why they call me JB the Jeweler, is because to my best of my ability, I try to drop gems every now and then, and so yeah, and also I think it catches the ear.
It does.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think people, and I actually am very happy that your wife said that, because that makes me feel. And also, I'm not gonna lie, before we started dating, my girl, I used to never comment on her Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
Or even like them, because I'm trying to be slick, I'm trying to play that whole I like you but I don't like you game. Like I like you but I ain't thirsty, right?
Right.
The whole time I'm like looking at the pictures like, man, she's so pretty. But I can't.
But you was over there thirsty, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Thirst bucket.
Definitely. But I couldn't let it show. Nah. I got to play it cool.
Yeah. I was just fronting.
Uh-huh. You already know. And so she made this picture that had her room in the background. And underneath her pictures, she would always get like 13 comments from her friends, 8. Left no crumbs, beautiful, gorgeous. Right. It was always that, right?
Yeah,
Which she is.
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
And so one time I saw one of her pictures and I left a comment that said, yo, clean your room. So I was like, I just wanted to see the reaction of the rest of the people.
Yeah.
When it's like, gorgeous, beautiful, you just got diamonds in your eyes.
Yeah.
Yo, clean your room. And I wanted people to be like, yo, who is this jerk off? JB the Jeweler? Who is this guy? Talk about clean your room. And then she actually texted me the next day and she was like, you need to watch your mouth, Mr. Barone.
Oh, my.
And jokingly.
Yeah,
I should say, jokingly. But yeah, she, and then I was like, I need you to like my comment. I mean, she liked everyone on there anyway.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need you to like it, because that would be the kicker, is if they're like, but she liked it. So she must know that. I wanted them to just be so confused over me just showing up, just walking into the room.
Right.
And
clean your room.
Yeah. And you got all the other guys on there that are, babe, you just walk on air, don't you? Trying to really.
Yeah.
And then you got this guy just coming in like, yo, your room's messy. What is this? And then leaving. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just another thing with JB the Jeweler that I don't know. I really like the name. My nickname in Florida when I lived out there was Jersey. They
Okay.
used to call me Jersey.
Yeah.
It was Babyface for a little bit until,
Okay.
I played, because when I was like 14, I looked like I was 10 years old. Not the best with the ladies when I was at that age. Because, when you're in high school, the girls don't exactly go crazy for a guy who looks like he's about 9
Yeah.
and can't grow a mustache.
Still look like you in middle school and shit.
Uh-huh. I'm 2 months into No Shave November, and I got nothing going on. Little dirt on my lip. That's what it looks like I got.
Dirt.
Yeah.
You over there looking like me, perimenopause with my little perimenopause mustache and shit. I don't care.
Oh,
I don't care.
Uh-huh. And
Listen, my grandma, she had, no, she didn't. She got this, I'm thinking this lady, oh man, oh my goodness. It was a lady, it's always the one church lady, bro. That one church lady who got the mustache.
Of
That
course.
just is, you could comb that bitch. You could put some mustache wax and curl that bitch.
You see the light hit it?
And she confident and feminine, just in there. She used to have a Tina Turner wig, yo. I'll never forget. She was always sweet. She always smelled good. She always had all the church ladies always had those fucking strawberry wrapper candies that I would never eat because they was at the bottom of your bag and right next to them little portable Kleenex packets.
They've been there for a long time.
With the freaking Werther's Originals. I'm going to take that
I was
Werther's
about to
from
say.
you, though, mama. Them
I
shits
was
is
about
good.
to say the Werther's.
Werther's, no, don't give me that clear yellow butterscotch shit. That ain't real. That ain't the real
Nah,
one. The Werther's is
that
where
off-brand.
it's at. No, the Werther's changed my life.
You like the Werther's?
I love the Werther's.
The butterscotch one.
Oh, yeah. Werther's
Wow.
Originals. Creamy,
'Cause
dreamy.
I was wondering who they made those for.
Me.
For you. Do you also like the plain donut in the box?
Plain donut.
You know how when you buy like a box of Entenmann's donuts, you get about 12 of them in there? Mm-hmm. And they got, what do they got? What I think maybe it's 12. 3 rows of 4. And then you get like the cinnamon. And then you get like a powdered or a chocolate.
Powdered.
Every pack you get, you get a row of plain.
Yeah, yo, give me them plains, bro.
So you do like the plain.
I eat the plains, fat girl status all day.
Reina.
I used to be waiting for the pastor to say
oh my gosh.
amen. And I would run to the back because I knew that's the only reason I went to church, my dude,
You knew
is to
donuts were
get
back
them
there.
damn donuts and them snacks. I was praising the Lord for snacks. Bored as hell. My mother used to, give me this little purse. And I've always been like what they call a tomboy, right? I don't even know now, so you're not supposed to call nobody that. I don't know. I was a tomboy, but of course I'm a little kid and I'm going to church with the dress on and looking all cute or whatever. I had my little purse, but inside the purse I had a Ninja Turtle and the motherfucking Cyclops and his eyes lit up, and I didn't care what that preacher was talking about in the sermon. I was just waiting for him to say amen. And they come with that damn frankincense swinging in the thing.
Wrap it
and
up.
I just walk right down that hallway, the first one down, got a plate. I did not care. I didn't have
there's
no
snacks back
qualms.
there.
So, yeah, cake donut, powdered donut. I actually did. You know what I didn't like? Jelly-filled donuts.
Yeah, that's what we can agree on that. Jelly is trash.
The jelly, that's
In my
ew.
opinion, jelly is trash. I don't want that.
I need it. If it's going to be a jelly-filled donut, it needs to be like from some place that's like a specialty donut spot where I know that this inside of here is real versus that jelly donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Then, man, they get that out of the can with 85 ingredients that you can't pronounce.
you
And the
got
last
red
ingredient is
40,
cherry.
you got red 39, you got...
Right. Oh, you know that dye that they make, the red, they make it from bugs?
Really?
Yeah, there's some bug that they dry it up and crush it, and that's how they make the red dye.
I'm going to be honest, Reina, that don't really bother me.
It don't really bother me either, but all these vegans out here, bro, taking everything away from them.
I think I did hear about that because I love Gatorade. I'm a Gatorade fiend. I try not to drink it as much.
Yeah.
But like some people it's soda. For me, it's Gatorade, especially a nice Arctic Blast.
Ooh, the Arctic Blast.
That's how you know I'm a true connoisseur of Gatorade.
Yeah.
Because I don't call it blue. I don't call it red. I know it's fruit punch. I know it's Arctic Blast.
Yeah.
I know it's strawberry melon. Mm-hmm. I know the names of green apple. That's a new one.
I haven't seen the green apple too often.
You got to get it at ShopRite. It's a specialty. You're not going to find green apple just anywhere. You got to go to a nice ShopRite.
That's special.
That's how you know you're in the nice ShopRite. Is if they got a green apple Gatorade.
That's how you know. Oh wow.
I'm in a decent spot.
Oh yeah.
I'm
What
doing
ShopRite
all right.
you go to?
South Plainfield.
Okay,
South Plainfield on the border of Edison.
Okay.
So
they
that's
gotta have one of those in the shop right at Clark, cause that's right next to the Whole Foods and all the bougie shit. So they gotta have green apple over there.
I feel like you could tell by the facade of a ShopRite how nice it. If it's some shit that's been repurposed, if it like used to be like, I don't know, something in a strip mall, you know, and then they repurpose it, just kind of slapped ShopRite on the already made awning.
Yeah.
And the ceilings are low.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
You'll be lucky if they got anything on the shelf.
Bro, the shop
free
right
for all.
over here in Linden. I don't know what's going on with that shop right. I mean, I'll go in there, right? But like, why is the parking lot so dirty like a landfill?
Oh, okay.
Bro, it's disgusting. And then all the seagulls be like, where's the ocean, bitch? Like, we are a few miles from the ocean.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers coming, Jonathan Livingston and them come over there to eat all the fries off the ground. They eating, they pecking at their cousin's bones and shit. You ever seen the pictures in the New York City, like eating chicken bones? Like, yo, that's your cousin, my guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care.
He don't give a shit.
They're cannibals.
He got to eat.
Diabolical pigeons,
in
bro.
the ocean. There's whole generations of seagulls out here in Jersey that don't even know what the ocean is.
Nah.
They live hard lives.
Man, I found a seagull with an injured wing at the damn Sansol Nissan on 1 and 9. And me and my wife legit like rescued this bird. Like we left to go get like a towel or something to come back in a box. Like we went to this, I don't know, it was like a Target or something. We were like, ma'am, she bought a towel. She was like, ma'am, do you have a box? But she's like, oh my God, a box, what box? It took her like 5 minutes to give us a box. Like, what, you don't be doing no work here? Like, what, you don't be putting nothing up? So they gave us the box, and then we go back to the dealership, and the bird was still there. Obviously, he couldn't fly. Man, we covered him with the towel.
Okay.
So because that was the purpose of the towel, so, scratches up, and he might have some type of disease. You don't want to get bird flu with no shit off these birds. So we picked
humans
them up.
can catch it.
Yeah, so we put him in the
I think somebody died
in the crate. Yeah, and then we actually drove him to the Wild Bird Fund, which was in the city.
That's nice.
And then they emailed us back after a while, and they were like, "Yo, the bird is better," and we let him go.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, "Oh, Jonathan, you lived."
See pictures of him doing arts and crafts with the other birds.
Yeah, living his best life.
Living the air,
like
right?
flying into the sunset. And we rescued him from Sansone Nissan. What the fuck are you doing in the bushes at the damn dealership, my guy? But that's right near the jail. A whole bunch of stuff happened. Every time I drive over there or that area, I think it's because the prison is there, your phone service is jacked up. Like legit.
Really?
Like, yeah, when I went to go buy the car, we went over there by it's the penitentiary.
Talk about Rawway. What used to be Rawway.
Maybe it's more like
got the dome on it.
Yeah, Rawway. Yeah,
it used to be Rawway. Now it's East Jersey because the people in Rawway got offended that they didn't want to be associated with the prison.
Damn, I thought it was Woodbridge. Not quite.
It's like in the area because I remember that was the prison that my father used to always drive us past. We lived in Fords. We lived by that prison.
Yeah.
And my father used to always drive us past that prison and just be like, "That's where you're gonna end up if you do knucklehead stuff with your buddies." And fun fact, that is also the prison in the 70s where the Scared Straight program began.
Wow.
The Scared Straight program started in Jersey, and it started at what was then Rawway. I guess penitentiary. I don't know the full name, but it's called a Rawway back in the day. And now East Jersey State Prison, that's where Scared Straight began, is in the 70s, sometime in the 70s, which my parents may be watching the 90s. They had a 90s one. And
Dang.
Yeah, and Oz. You ever watch Oz back in the day?
I didn't. Maybe
HBO?
I should now. I think I was not. Yeah, I was scared of Oz because they was talking about.
Oz is a scary show.
Yeah, yo. I didn't want to see that at that age.
Oz, I don't blame you. Oz was a scary fucking show. My parents, though, they watched Oz. And they one time, again, there was, when I was younger, and I look back now and I'm like, I understand why, my parents were on a kick to make me not want to run around and do dumb shit out there in the streets and get involved in wild shit, because I guess I was getting to that age where, wild shit could start happening. And so they just made me watch Scared Straight. They had a whole lineup. They had Scared Straight on, then Oz after that. I wanted to just watch King of Queens maybe or some cartoons, and they said, no, you're watching at a BC. Try to get in some man's butt.
Hey, yo.
Because I'm not going to lie. My mother used to sometimes tell me a story about how in prison, maybe she read this in an article where somebody got, this is going to get a little crazy, guys, where somebody got raped with a broomstick,
Hey, yo.
where they put a broomstick in his
Yeah.
butt. And my mom ran with that story.
Oh,
And
yeah.
anytime I acted bad, "Hey, you want to go to prison? They'll put a broomstick right in your butt, Jess.
Oh,
Right in your butt.
my God.
Right in your, yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
traumatizing as fuck.
I love my mother. Sweet woman. But yeah, I think she might have got that from Oz. But I remember one time they had us watch an episode of Oz.
Hey, yo.
And
She was doing her own Straight program in your house.
oh yeah. Yeah. She was mixing up sauce for the pasta and then, tell me I'm gonna get a broomstick in my ass if I, keep riding my bike outside the limits. And
But not the bike outside the mom.
if I was outside,
Mom,
there was a
what?
block. Yeah, there were like a 2-block radius. If I was outside, I heard my father's whistle. And if I didn't come straight home, then I was in deep doo-doo. And yeah, I watched this one episode of Oz. And this, man, I remember in the intro, one thing about Oz is Oz was not scared to show some wieners.
And I think that's another reason why I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to see no nigga line.
Wieners. Flaccid wieners, but still,
Yeah.
a lot of shows even nowadays are scared to show a wiener.
The ding dong.
That changes the whole. I think we talked about this kind of off the record,
Yeah.
off the show one time.
Oh, we will coming through.
Yeah. This is Linden, New Jersey.
Hope they put out the fire.
Yeah, I hope everything's all right.
Continue.
But, yeah. So we were talking about this that back in the day you watch little Cinemax,
Skinamax.
right, or HBO after
HBO.
From what I heard, 10 p.m. on a Thursday.
Yeah.
You used to watch HBO, and they had some shows on there that were
BET After Dark.
BET After
Oh,
Dark
that was, oh my God.
of the softcore variety.
Variety.
And what separated, from what I could gather, what separated a film from being softcore to hardcore was the presence of a dick.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
The presence of the dick is, if there was a dick visible,
Yeah.
you were watching a hardcore film.
Wiener.
There's some stuff about to go down, and there's about to be all angles of it in your face. So if you're watching a movie, you see a penis,
Wieners.
you need to start processing, is this what, because there's some things about to happen. But softcore, you will not see it.
Yeah, you just see
You'll
the
see
butt.
it, yeah, you'll see
And
butts.
you see the poem a little, because the poem is really on the inside.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh.
You'll see a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of pom-pom and the tatas.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah.
Depending on the era, you'll see some hair.
You know what show they did show? Wiener? It was, one recently I remember, but you ever see Westworld?
No, I haven't. But I mean,
Fantastic.
I've heard tons about it. Yeah, a lot of people have been
Fantastic.
telling me I should watch it.
You should. I think you'd be into it. It's very cerebral, anyway, but there's like, there's this one scene where like, there's a few times where you see it, but it's usually like on a person who is like a synthetic person. Like there's this one, they have like this room where they have all these like synthetic people
Okay.
that are deactivated. So they just standing there, but they butt naked.
Okay,
Men,
yeah,
women,
yeah.
all kinds of sizes, shapes, races, and they naked. And they just go through there and you see wieners,
Wieners just
it's
hanging.
amazing. And I don't think, I'm not like a prude person, right? I think that maybe, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel about like almost the hypocrisy of wiener versus boobies and vagina? I mean, it probably just shows a lot about our society where it's just like women are always up for grabs, but for some reason y'all very modest about your dicks, even though, in second grade, I'm flipping through a freaking textbook,
Health
name
book.
your textbook, and there's a dick on the page.
Yeah, you're gonna see it in the health book.
It's like little boys, they start just drawing dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
But I'm not gay.
Yeah.
You're probably not, just the obsession,
Yeah.
but the shame, like, make it make sense.
I think as a man, I mean, to be honest, there is you grow at a young age. To be completely honest with you, a lot of young men are insecure about their dick size from a young age.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of young men, at least of my generation going forward, we learn about sex from porn.
Yeah.
Not good, because porn sex is in no way real
life.
sex.
Have you heard that?
No way.
We'll say that again.
Porn sex is, I know people. I knew a guy who worked for New York. What was it? The Time magazine, Life magazine. He worked in New York. He was a reporter.
Yeah.
He had been on porn sets, and I remember he told me about what went on there. Okay, they take tons of breaks. There are tons of laughs. There are mistakes. There are things, but you wouldn't know that in the cut. Because in that 30-minute movie you're watching, everything's perfect, everything's hot, everything's this. The only thing is literally the act of what's going on. Is the only way it is real. Everything else is not real. Real sex is clumsy. Real sex, you should be joking, I think, during it. You should be laughing during it. It's okay to take breaks as a guy. You watch a porno as a young guy, the guy's just going for 45 minutes. Yeah, because it's been cut together. And also,
right.
Yeah, he is not going for that long.
And she ain't going for that long either.
Yeah. And
Come on now.
Yeah, and if she is, she's not having a good time.
No, she's not. She's like, are you finished?
She is.
Are you done yet?
She is not. But as a young man, you watch that, and that becomes your what's the word? Like,
that's your baseline.
Yeah,
that's your
for what sex is, and as a man, what you should be doing in the bedroom. You need to be taking charge. It's for a lot of guys, and I went through this for a while. And I even sometimes have to get this out of my mind. Is that it's a performative act,
right?
For a lot of men, and that's what we've been taught.
Yeah,
there are standards and body standards and standards of like how you live that are unattainable for men too. They just don't get talked about as much.
Right.
There are unattainable body standards. We see them in the movies. We see these bodies of these superhero characters with muscles bulging out from here, there. Yeah, because the guy dehydrated himself for 2 days.
Right.
And he'll even say, I couldn't live like that.
Right.
But we look at that as men, and we got our girlfriends next to us, and they're looking at it, salivating over it, and be like, wow, look at him. And now we're like, oh, we might not be muscular enough. But again, we're men, and we're not going to talk about it because we don't want to look weak.
Right.
So we don't talk about it. We just hold it inside. Let's be honest as well. It's a lot more accepted to make fun of a man's body, even if it's something he can't change, than it is to make fun of a woman's body.
Yeah.
You make fun of a woman's body, there's going to be a large majority of people that are going to be like, that's messed up. Don't do that. There's going to be just men that are like, hey, you shouldn't say that about her. Even though it does happen. That's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
But when it comes to men, everyone laughs. Oh, this guy's a fat fuck. This guy's a fat shit.
He ain't seen his dick since.
Yeah. Needle dick over here. Everyone laughs.
Yeah.
And as a man, you say something, oh, that hurt my feelings. Oh, God bless you. God bless. Good luck trying to get your masculinity back after that. Now, is it right? No. So many people are going to say, oh, that's not, but that's so wrong. Yes, it is wrong, but it happens. Mm-hmm. It happens.
Y'all have a whole different world. Like men and boys have a whole different world that women don't get to see. And it's funny because I grew up hanging out with a lot of guys. So like I sort of got like, you got like the outer circle and then the inner circle.
Yeah.
So like I would be like right on the edge of the inner circle. Like, because there was dudes that they didn't see me as somebody that they wanted to date. Because they was like, either I was like their little sister or like their little brother. Like in that sense. So in a way, there was things that guys would say around me that they would never say around a girl that they was trying to holler at. Which brings me to my first topic, which is so fun.
Okay.
Do you think that it is possible for men and women to genuinely be friends?
I think...
Besides, like, me and you have a friendship.
Yes.
But you have told me a few times that I feel like I'm your boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I look at you.
Because, like,
I look at you as a bro.
Right, and most guys, when they meet me, depending on, it's almost like a cultural thing where there's like men who I know that they're flirting with me, but 9 times out of 10, when like guys talk to me, like they just talk. I don't feel like they trying to holler at me or want to sleep with me. Yeah. But I do feel like there's that space of like some guys that aren't thinking about it. If I turned around, hypothetically, because I am married, but if I turned around and was like, yeah, I need some dick today, they'd be like, I got you.
Yeah.
So do you think
there's always some guys
there's
like that,
a possibility in the world that men and women can actually be platonic friends without there being an ulterior motive?
I think, is it possible? Yes. Is it plausible? No. And the reason why I say that is because I've experienced this myself, is that somebody usually, when you become that close with someone, and there is the possibility of attraction in that dynamic
Yeah.
between the two people, when they get, inevitably when you get close to somebody, especially I think in today's day and age, which is, it's a shame because we're more connected than ever through social media, but we're also more unconnected when
Right.
it comes to just being human beings and being people.
Word.
But when you get that close to somebody is, I think it's very difficult for one of the people at least to not develop some feelings, because you're going to start to expose parts of yourself and you're going to start to be vulnerable in ways that you are usually only vulnerable with a partner.
Right.
And when it comes to a friendship, yeah, if the dynamic of attraction is not possible, you're just not attracted to who they are or what type of person they are, then it's not going to happen.
Right.
But if it can happen, I think it just naturally is going to go in that direction. I think 9.9 times out of 10, someone is going to develop feelings. Now, most of the time, just because the way guys are wired, it's probably going to be the guy.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be the guy, and the guy should probably recognize when, I always say and advocate, shoot a shoot. If you start to feel like you are developing feelings for someone, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. And I speak from experience, because it is much better to shoot your shot and get a no and know the answer than to never shoot your shot and always be wondering what if.
Yeah.
And so, but that's easier said than done. Just because
Yeah.
it's simple don't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would say shoot your shot as a guy, because most of the time it's guys. But I've experienced this as well. I just recently had a girl, that I knew. When I say recently, I mean like in the past couple years.
Yeah.
That I met her. I was not attracted to her.
Yeah.
She wasn't bad looking. She just didn't. The attraction wasn't there. Attraction is not a choice. We think it is. Attraction is not a choice.
It is not.
You do not choose who you're attracted to.
You do not.
It just happens. And so this girl I was not attracted to, but I liked talking to her.
Yeah.
She got my number. She texted me first, but we were just talking about like Saturday Night Live and watching TV and just commenting on things. And I, in my mind, wasn't flirting at all. She took me to this one gathering that a bunch of our friends were going to, and we hung out there a little bit, but I also hung out with other people. She hung out with other people. And little by little, I could sense she started like asking me out for drinks. And I was like, oh, I see where this is going. And before that, I was like, oh, this is nice. It's nice to have just a girl who is a friend and is not attracted to me. I'm not attracted to her. And we could just hang out as friends. But she had feelings, and she shot her shot. And I had to say, I'm not interested.
Politely decline.
So, yeah, I like I said, I think it is possible.
Yeah.
And it can. I think if you have maybe like, if you know boundaries. As a person, you can very much I think that there's women that I would consider my friends that are straight women. Because honestly, like someone who is a member of the LGBTQ plus community, I'll either consider them a bro or I'll consider them like a sister.
Yeah.
But I'm saying someone that's like a straight woman and me as a straight man, like if there is, there is the chance that we could be attracted to one another, but I consider them friends, but we're not texting all night. We're not really hanging out a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe we would go out to lunch once or twice, but if I was in a relationship, I just think that's dancing with the devil.
Absolutely.
And I would not do that. And we were cool. And I think that's a cool friendship. But I think when people that are in a relationship or don't want the attraction to happen start texting all night.
Yeah.
You start going out to dinners and lunches together.
Yeah.
You start hanging out a lot. You're either asking for trouble in your relationship. You're not respecting your partner.
Yeah.
Or you are asking for something to happen. You're either hoping something happens because you have feelings, or the other person's going to develop feelings. So they can be friends as long as you know the boundaries and you know where it needs to stay.
Yeah.
And how to compartmentalize, I guess what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, what's funny? So there's this dude that I've been friends with for a long time, and I haven't seen him in years. I talk to him every now and then. But I knew him since he was in high school, man. And like, we talk about, I was just coming out of middle school, maybe.
Okay.
So it's a long time that I've known this guy. And we would always hang out, and when I used to smoke, we was, smoke and like go fishing, and like it would be like late night fishing. Like he would call me up at like midnight, yo, you trying to go fishing? And we'd do like catfishing like late at night, right?
Yeah.
And he would, and he was the type of dude that he definitely was not loyal, right?
Okay.
For a long time, he didn't have real much loyalty because he was always getting with, type of women that, I can't blame the women, but he just never got with anybody who he felt like he wanted to settle with, and vice versa. Because 9 times out of 10, they was doing the same thing on him. You attract what you are,
Like
basically.
like.
So,
Birds of a feather.
and it's so funny because he would always catch it from whoever he was dating when he would hang out with me. And like, until they met me, they would be like, why you always hanging out with her? Oh, you doing? He's like, I swear I'm not. It's not like that. They didn't believe him till I showed up with my cornrows and my Timberlands and my daggone long white tee and my do-rag. Oh, I was corny back in the day, but I was fly.
You're dapping him up and you're hurting his hand?
Listen, you know what I'm saying? Showing up at they used to have this, in Baltimore, they used to be this club called the Paradox. And they had a gay night at the docks.
Okay.
That's what they called the docks. And I didn't see this was, and it was so funny. It's like, as my journey as a young little baby dyke in Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Like exploring the things.
That's got to be a rough place to.
Dude, like it's crazy. Like, just going to the club in Baltimore is dangerous. Like, any club, I don't even care. It doesn't even matter if it's a hip hop club or a country line dancing club. Like, somebody at the end of the night is either getting stabbed or beat up or something happening. Like, one time I was at the docks and some outside world beef was happening, and then these women are in the club fighting. Oh no. Then the one girl gets sent to the hospital. The other girl follows the ambulance to the hospital and starts popping off in the hospital. Like, trying to kill so this is what.
I think I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin do that to Vince McMahon back in the day.
Hey, yo.
It sounds like some wrestling shit from
Listen,
like the 90s.
that was real life. Baltimore is different. Like, it's different. But I remember going out and just having the hardest time sometimes because I would look fresh. I would go out and I'd get the outfits. I'd go into the Paradox. And that's the first time I had never seen or knew that many gay people existed. Like, you're first like coming into yourself for anything, right? As a young person. But I could speak as like a young queer person, like exploring the world of, being gay and all of these things. And, we're not back at Stonewall. I'm not that old.
Yeah.
But I remember going to the club and be like, yo, all these girls are here like girls? Oh, shit. And it was just, like, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
And it was like almost overstimulated. And the worst part was that, like, I like to go to clubs where there was, I'm an African-American, multiracial person, but I'm very light-skinned, okay? Mm-hmm. And I would always get mistaken for white. So I would go to this club, and it was, like, predominantly black.
Yeah.
And that's how I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I liked going to the club and being around black and brown people. And generally, I had more fun, and I liked the music that was being played. And it was always like, just what I grew up around. I felt comfortable around it. So, man, them girls was not trying to talk to me. Oh, my God. And then I remember the first time, I didn't know, right? Like, when a girl is at the club and she backs it up on you, and she starts doing her thing, you're supposed to stand there and let it happen.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to try to do nothing. Oh, man, I was trying to, am I supposed to? Man, they was laughing at me.
Yeah.
Like, they were, and it was always like, some cute ass girls too,
Yeah.
and I was just, oh, she backing it up, and I'm thinking I'm doing something good, and then I'm moving around, and then she just moves, and I'm like, why she leave? And then I look at my friend, and my friend just standing there. I'm like, oh, that's how you do it. Oh, that's how you do it.
Yeah, you just gotta stand there. And I'll tell you one thing too: don't let her get you on your heels. But then make sure you got a good base.
Yeah, you gotta put that back up against the wall.
You gotta get in a good stance. So
Listen.
yeah, at one point in my life, I had this Cuban girlfriend way back in the day, and she was dancing on me, and it was the first Cuban girl that I really had doing that to me.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there was a railing in front of us, and I held onto that railing for dear life.
Dear life.
Because she was gonna put me into the bar. And I didn't even realize that was part of the game. So I completely understand what you're saying. And yeah, I thought you had to move too. I actually was like, oh, I need to move. She's gonna think I'm a lame. No, as a
you
guy,
supposed to stand there. She trying to show you what she working with.
You're supposed to stand there. Maybe you put a hand on a hip, but
right, yeah. But see, now when me and my wife go out, we love that. Like that's how we met. You know what I'm saying? Like officially met. Like we met briefly, but I was dating somebody, and I think she told me she came to see my band play. This was years ago, playing the city, and I was dating somebody at the time, and she was supposed to be going on a date with somebody, and they stood her up. But she come to the show anyway, and she had a good time, and I remember signing her CD. I remember, and then a year later. She used to do burlesque, and she was doing burlesque at somebody's birthday party. And my friend was like, "Yo, you should come to this party."
Little Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, so we met, and then somebody introduced us, and we were dancing, and I bought her a drink, and it was like cute, and that was the beginning of it.
Nice.
But so we like going out dancing. That was like a thing for us, especially because one of my buddies, who still is a great DJ, they used to throw parties every month and shit like that. And but I remember when I was dancing with her. And then you're talking about after 15, 20 years, maybe of going out to the clubs and like learning how to be and not to be and like not, all of the things and all of the bullshit relationships. Now you hearing like I'm more grown. And then so when we dance, like it's the opposite. Like we're so in sync with each other that like I can move. Now, granted, she don't be really backing it up on me like that, and if she does, I stand still.
Yeah, you know what time it is.
But it's nice to be able to like be on the same page with somebody, even in that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love dancing with my wife, man. Yeah. And like it's one of those things like we haven't gone out nearly as much as we used to when we lived in the city or in Brooklyn, because the times is different. It's just, and then when you grow like and evolve, a lot of times like there's events, like we like to go to this one dance party called Ecstatic Dance. They actually it's a type of party that they do. You ever heard of ecstatic dance before? So an ecstatic dance is basically like purposefully, at least the ones that I've been to, there's no alcohol. Number one.
Okay.
Number two, they basically are like, if you want to have a conversation, don't do it on a dance floor. If you want to be on your phone, don't do it on a dance floor.
Oh, I would think just in general, yeah. Why would you?
You go somewhere else, and and also it's one of those things where you're there to vibe out to the music. So the music is a lot of times will be like deep house or like this, I don't know what they call it, but like trancey, like elevator, like kind of conscious house and dance music, EDM music, and it's dope. Like you're in this space where you're like dancing. So being up on each other, sometimes I don't ever see nobody grinding on each other at these type of dances. It's not about that. There was there was another party that was like that too, and it was a monthly party they used to throw in Brooklyn. And the same type of thing where like there's no drinking, and it's not about, oh, I'm going out to holla. Like, oh no, we in here to dance. Like that. And I love parties like that because it almost takes like the pressure off of like, because a lot of times, like there's a club right around the corner from here. It was like Central Park, and like Friday, Saturday nights when I used to get off late and I would drive past there, there'd be a line of people, especially in the summertime, a line of people going to get in this club. And all the girls, especially like even in the wintertime, they out there all shivery cold because they so cute.
Yeah.
Then when they get, because there's hot as balls in the club.
Yeah.
But it's like they getting dressed up because you dress up for yourself. But let's be honest, like people go to the club
to see other
be
people
seen
and get attention.
Yes.
I debated that with a woman not too long ago. about going to the club.
Yeah.
And she was in a relationship, and she would still go to the club and dance with her friends. And that's what she was like, oh, I just like to dance. I just like to dance. And I was like, you could dance with your friends at your friend's apartment. You could put some music on and drink some wine. And she's like, well, no, we like to be at the club though. And I was like, well, be honest. Maybe you're not doing anything, but you are going. You're getting dressed up nice because you know you're going to get attention. And it feels good to get the attention.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying you're cheating. Your husband some men are into that. Some men are into their girl going out, getting attention from other men and knowing that's me. She's coming home to me.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm not saying you're doing anything, but just admit you're not just going out to dance. You're going out to get attention. And she wouldn't do it, and it really didn't go anywhere. But yeah, I mean, I think you already know what guys are going there for.
Oh, yeah.
Guys are not going there to dance.
Nah.
They're going there, but that's also why there's ladies' night, never guys' night. You know, if you want the guys to show up, you just get the ladies in there.
Yeah.
And the guys will come. The guys will pay a $30 surcharge.
They charge
happily.
men more.
Hell yeah.
Dude. Oh, man.
That's
I remember
club
one time
economics.
I tried to go out, you know, and then, of course they thought I was a dude. And they were like, I was with some female friends of mine, and we decided to go someplace different that night. And so we walk in, and again, we in Baltimore. Like, I had already found my sort of safe space at the docks on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Right? But this other place, I think it was like a strip club. But like they had downstairs was for the guys, and then they had an upstairs that was for like the gays, or where they have two different levels.
Okay.
So I don't
Keeping it with
remember
the same level.
where we ended up, but I know I got charged the men's price because my homegirls got charged 10, the femmes got charged 10, and we call them doms in Baltimore, like they call them AGs in New York, but or butches if you're white. But
what about studs? They still call them
studs, they do studs
I was
too.
gonna say studs.
All of those conditions get you charged extra $10. Bitch, I had to pay $20. $20? Don't you see me? And I got patted down by a dude real quick. That was like, what are we
That's gotta be a
doing?
little
You don't
crazy.
feel my ties, you just felt me up, basically.
Yeah, that's got to be a little weird.
Bruh.
I was about to say, like, I know a regular club hates to see you coming rain on ladies' night.
They hate it.
Because you could get in for free.
Bruh.
What are they going to tell you? They're going to tell you no, but they're going to be like, you're not the one we're looking for. Mm-hmm. We want the ones with the tight dresses and the booties out and the tay-tays out, the cha-chas. Chi-chis? Is it chi-chis or cha-cha? I think it's chi-chis.
Oh.
The chi-chis out, and that's what they want. So the guys, like I said, guys will show up, pay $50 to get in there. You got some cute girls in there.
That's crazy.
They'll pay $50.
$50 for the opportunity.
They'll pay $300, $400 for a bottle of liquor that costs $30 to the liquor store. Happily, in the hopes that a woman will give them some attention.
Cause you're so freaking frugal to overpay for some trash liquor.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the type of person I want to date.
That is club. I got a buddy who works club economics and or club in general, and that's definitely what goes on. Although there is something else that happened since the last time we recorded, and that is our co-host Garbanzo.
That's actually Walter back there, like screaming.
Oh, that's a different one?
Yeah.
Is he all right?
He probably just want to be tucked in like a baby.
Yeah.
But he could think. Listen, I come home and these animals are already under blankets, so I don't want to hear it that you want to be tucked in.
Yeah.
You can do that your damn self.
I think animals too. Like some animals, I should say at least, they'd like to just be in the mix.
Yeah.
They want to be in the mix. Like, I got a cat. I call her Little Cat. She loves to be in the mix. You know, my girlfriend shows up at the house. She may not have said hi to me all day, but I swear to you, as soon as my girlfriend walks in the door, she is at my girlfriend's feet because she knows we're going to be hanging out upstairs and she wants to be in the mix. We lay down on the bed. She will literally, my girlfriend's head will be on my chest on one side. Whatever room there is on my chest, this cat will climb up and lay right there. And she'll give a headbutt to her and a headbutt to me and then a headbutt to her and a headbutt to me. Like, when we kiss, she thinks we're giving headbutts. So she just wants to be in the mix.
That's so cute.
And be there.
I
But
love cats.
I was gonna say, I honestly, I love animals in general. I don't know how people could say that they don't like a certain type. I think cats are a good judge of character. Mm-hmm. If you're the type of person that's like, cats don't like me, cats suck, I have bad news. You probably suck. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, more than
Is
likely.
you probably suck because cats like people who are laid back. They like people who aren't erratic. They like people who aren't loud, and those are the type of people I like.
Yeah.
And so if you're erratic, loud, unpredictable, basically you need to get your shit together as a person and calm the fuck down. Cats probably don't like you.
Yeah.
And so anyway, though, speaking of animals, since the last time we recorded, one of my favorite establishments
What's that?
ever
What is that?
shut down.
Where?
The Rainforest Cafe
Oh, boo.
in our beloved Menlo Park Mall.
Oh.
Closed its doors probably 2-3 weeks ago at this point.
R.I.P. R.C.
A restaurant that has been there since I was a little kid.
I remember Rainforest Cafe. They had one of those in Maryland I went to before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Rainforest Cafe. Rainforest Cafe is probably, it's one of my favorite restaurants ever. I was going to say probably my favorite, but that switches between the Olive Garden and Jose Tejas. Shout out to Jose Tejas. Just went
Tejas.
there recently. Great spot over by the Woodbridge Mall. They have fantastic food for a great price. I got a tall strawberry lemonade and great enchiladas with beans and rice for $13. That was
Damn.
before the tip. Fantastic sit-down restaurant.
Wow.
And that's a place that's been there since 1991. But I just love a good chain restaurant, Reina. I love all these people out here talking about, oh, support a local business. I'll support a local business when they got an animatronic orangutan screaming at me while I eat my mashed potatoes. Okay? Because that's an experience.
It is. Your Rainforest Cafe is really an experience.
That they got a tree frog on the wall. They got a gift shop as soon as you. Oh,
Gift
they did.
shop.
Well, there are still some out there. I should say. There's still one in Atlantic City, but this was our hometown one. And me and the boys. I think I told you about. Me and the boys went back in November.
Yeah, I saw the
planned
picture.
A boys trip out there. There was 10 of us there, and all the guys who didn't go to the Rainforest Cafe before were all like, bro, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you want ambiance. Like, I'm also so tired of people that are complaining about, oh, there's no experiences anymore. It's
Right.
all just, oh, Domino's or not Domino's. Pizza Hut used to be a sit-down restaurant.
Yeah.
You used to be able to go, and now it's just a counter I go up to. There's no more restaurants.
It's one over here.
You had one.
Oh, yeah.
You had the Rainforest Cafe, and you chose to turn your cheek. You turned your back on the Rainforest Cafe. The Rainforest Cafe didn't turn its back on you. Okay?
Yeah.
You failed the Rainforest Cafe.
You did.
Not the other way around.
Failed it.
And I think people in Central Jersey and North Jersey should be ashamed.
Yeah.
Because-
Hang your heads.
We had the Garden of Eden in Menlo Park Mall, and we said, no thanks. No thanks. I'm going to Grubhub some Wendy's for the 20th time this week.
Damn. Yo, that was the first place I ever had pot stickers.
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, which is weird because you would think you'd have it at an Asian spot.
Yeah.
But that was the first place I ever had pot stickers. Pot stickers, and what was the other thing that they had that was so good? Coconut shrimp.
Okay.
Coconut shrimp.
Okay.
This
yeah.
is what we're talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Yo,
the
Rainforest
Rain's
Cafe
been
has
there.
some staying power.
I was honestly surprised it was still there, and I was very happy it was still there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I guess from what I heard, the mall itself didn't want to renew the lease. Like, it had nothing to do with them not being able to pay the rent. The mall just didn't want to renew the lease. From what I heard, they might be changing it into a bowling alley, but that's still just rumor and, internet comments. But yeah, I just, like I said, man, I got my favorite stuffed animal ever, Dakota. He was a little husky from the Rainforest Cafe, and I loved it as an adult. I loved the experience of it. They had a thunderstorm that happened.
I remember.
When we went there was one other family in the corner, and it was a family, a father and a mother and a little boy, and I saw the little boy scared shitless because he thought that thunderstorm was real, and it put a song in my heart. I loved
Almost as
that
good as the
experience.
Grinch jumping out on him at Christmas.
Oh yeah, yeah. As I'm sitting there with my Rasta pasta and our appetizer platter, I was just like, I'm home. I love you, Rainforest Cafe. I love you so much. And it's honestly my goal. I would love to visit. It will determine if I go somewhere on
Okay.
vacation. Do they have a Rainforest Cafe?
Damn.
Well, if there's a Rainforest Cafe there, I'm more likely to be going there to spend more money. A Rainforest Cafe brings me in the door to wherever we're going. Like I never thought about going to Atlantic City before.
Yeah.
Had no interest.
Yeah.
I'm now interested.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at the boardwalk. And it's all because I know they have a Rainforest Cafe there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm a little bit more bougie, honestly. Like I like a good chain restaurant. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's an indulgence that it's easily, you can easily scratch that itch.
And it's consistent.
It's consistent.
It's consistent.
Very
as shit
consistent.
sometimes, but it's consistent.
Yes.
You got to appreciate consistency.
You can. But for me, the Atlantic City, are we going to Atlantic City?
Yeah.
That's Caesar's Palace buffet, bro. That Caesar's Palace buffet on Sundays, they got all you can eat crab legs. Like, and we're not talking about them little Chesapeake Bay crab legs. We talking about them freaking
I think you would tell me. Are they king crab
wildest
legs?
catch situation.
Are they king crab legs?
King crab legs.
You told me about this. Mm-hmm. And I heard that it's casino buffets or like I heard
The
those
casino buffets.
I heard those buffets are like the Super Bowl of buffets.
Yes, but if you go to Las Vegas, okay, this is a disclaimer. Anybody trying to travel to go to Vegas, you listen to Reina right now. Because Las Vegas was my guilty pleasure, okay? It's prime people watching. If you enjoy people watching, you need to carry your ass to Las Vegas at least once in your life. That is the mecca for people watching in America. I mean, yeah, you got your New Yorks and you got your, Hollywood strip, like where the Chinese grown man's theater is. Like, that's good people watching. But Vegas is different, right?
Fine.
You could smoke inside and drink outside.
Okay.
And in Las Vegas, they have the Strip, then they have the Old Strip, which is Fremont Street, which is where they got the lady with kicking the leg and like the gold nugget, right?
All
that's the old
school
Strip.
Neon sign type joints.
And that's like walkable. There's no cars that go through there. It's a whole experience. It's very cool.
Honestly,
But
that
then
sounds cool. That's my type of
awesome.
deal.
Then they got Off Strip. The Off Strip buffet, trash. Like, it's fine. Like, it's one of those things where like you're like, all right, this is fine. That's it. That's all I can say. That it's fine.
Yeah.
You can eat. The quality is okay.
It'll do.
You carry your ass over there to that Luxor or that Caesar's Palace or the Mirage or oh my God. Like, that'd be the best $50 that you ever spend. And you're like, $50? Okay. Yes. If you're a drinker, you get one drink, like a free drink. And then, or if you're not a drinker, you get unlimited. And then it's like all you can eat, but it's like good food. Like, we talking prime rib, we're talking crab, we're talking, first time I ever had panna cotta. Like, my bougie ass watching Gordon Ramsay cook. It's like, this panna cotta, it's blah, 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 blah. I can't do his accent real good, but it's panna cotta. I said, he don't even say it like that. I can't do his accent when
Some
he's trying to say
Italian.
But
if I try to do an Irish accent, it turns into Australian and British about halfway through.
So when you go to Vegas, make sure that you just go on Strip to one of those buffets. And then they got this place, I can't remember what it's called, where they have like, if you weigh a certain amount, your food is free. Like, they reward obesity at this place. It's insane. There's a scale outside, and like, never do I ever see a woman stepping on that scale in public.
I think you're talking about the Heart Attack Grill.
It may be.
It's a burger joint.
It's a burger joint.
It's the Heart Attack Grill.
They try to kill people.
It's called the Heart Attack Grill. And yes, if you weigh over a certain amount, your meal is free.
That's wild.
And you know that that place was actually opened up by a former cardiologist?
Preposterous.
And he did it actually as a statement against gluttony. He did it because he wanted to mock gluttony. But it didn't really work because a lot of people, it just went, woo. right over the head.
I mean, if you go into a place that's called the Heart Attack Grill, I think a lot of shit gonna go over your head.
Because he was trying to be like, yo, this food is, he's making a joke like, yes, this food is killing you. This food is killing you. But people still happily line up and yeah, they got all their burgers are called, like it ain't a single or a double. It's like a double bypass, triple bypass.
Yes.
Quadruple bypass.
Bleh. And that's near where they have this gigantic praying mantis that spits fire every hour.
Hell yeah.
So if you plan, I think everybody listening right now, whether you're in, who's far away? Who's been listening? What countries we got?
We got India. We got Switzerland. I saw the United Kingdom today. I saw France. I saw South Africa. Shout out to all them.
All y'all. Y'all need to come to the States and go to Vegas and go to these places. And when you come to America and you want to do some tourism, don't go to New York. Don't go, that's that. You need to go to Vegas. You need to go to Sin City in the middle of the desert. And if you're really froggy, you go to LA first and then you drive to Vegas.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's a situation.
I didn't know you could do that. But in fact, from what I heard, I haven't been even over there at all.
Yeah.
I need to open up my scope of where I've traveled. But I think the farthest west I've gone is San Antonio when I was a kid. But I didn't know for the longest time that, you can literally in a day, you can drive from Los Angeles to Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Me and my wife did it. We're in L.A. and then I had a rental. We're like, oh, we're going to go. And she had a friend that worked out there. So we drove out. It took like 3 hours. Did we stay overnight?
That ain't too bad.
No, it's not too bad. I think we stayed with her. We stayed with her friend. And then we came back the next day. But it's not bad driving. It's actually a very beautiful drive. And then you could see, like, in the middle, like you're driving and you hit Reno first. But you can see Reno, like you're maybe 10 miles out. And then you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then there's Reno, which people forget about Reno.
Yeah.
I think Reno was like before Vegas.
Yeah.
Like Reno was the experiment.
I'm a huge Reno 911 fan. That show with the cops. So JB the Jeweler, will never forget about Reno. But yeah, I am a huge fan of that show. So I would actually love to visit Reno just because I watched that show. Shout out to Lieutenant Dangle and La Zapateria de Ballerina. Where you can put ostrich boots on layaway for 3 easy payments.
Yo, I think I need to go back and watch that because I didn't really watch it when it was out. I think I was in a different phase of my life.
It's hilarious.
I bet
honestly,
it is.
It's one of the funniest shows, in my opinion, on television. I would recommend watching the whole thing, the whole deal.
I'm sure I can't find it on Tubi or something.
Yeah.
Tubi got it all.
Tubi is good. Tubi. You could find some movies too on Tubi. I thought Tubi was only like hood flicks, that are not that good.
Nah.
But no, it's Tubi got serious stuff on there.
They got the Disorderlies on Tubi. You ever seen the Disorderlies?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Well, here we go talk about movies again. The Disorderlies. Remember the Fat Boys from back in the day?
Fat Boys. Yeah.
They had a movie.
Really?
Called Disorderlies.
Okay.
And it was about some rich guy who is like a Nepo baby guy, and his father was like dying or something, and but he just wanted the dad to croak, so he went and hired what he thought was the worst orderlies, basically that was gonna neglect his father, and so the father could die, and he can get all his money, and so he goes and finds the Fat Boys and comes, and it's a hilarious 80s movie. It's really, that's like part of hip hop culture, that movie. Because there's this whole scene where they go in this room and they see this video camera and then they make a music video and they have a whole song. It's fucking dope. It's so funny. And it's like one of those movies where you gotta laugh. If you're looking for a good laugh, you definitely hit up Disorderlies on Tubi. But that's the end of my movie rant.
That's honestly, that's what Tubi's good for. Tubi got all those type of movies,
Yeah.
That there have been tons of movies that I've typed. I always go on Google, type in the name of the movie, where to watch, and I look for the free one. And Tubi's had a few movies that I wanted to see. So shout out to Tubi, man.
Coming through, Tubi.
Yeah, Tubi is definitely doing.
I feel like Tubi coming up in the world a little bit too, because what was this something I was watching, and then it was like sponsored by Tubi, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Was it a Super Bowl? Some Super Bowl. Prince
Tubi used to be a Roku channel.
jumping out there. Oh yeah,
It was a Roku channel. It was one of them off-brand channels that you only find on a Roku TV.
Yeah.
Roku has like 50 to 100 channels that's like theirs, and they're not great.
Yeah.
And then, I guess somebody at Tubi was like, we're really going to make this great. We're going to do what we need to do here. And now Tubi is really
coming
it's
up
like
in
a
the
legit
world. It ain't
channel
gonna be
now.
free no more after that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the thing, man.
That's
It's too big for your britches, bro.
Then there'll be a new one. There's always the next one that comes out and does what the last one did, and then people will hate Tubi and turn on it, burn the offices down, and that'll be that. There'll be a documentary about it. The rise and fall of Tubi.
Hey, yo.
Everything ain't free.
You got any other things you want to talk about, man?
Because
I really enjoyed we freestyling tonight. We don't really have any.
Yeah.
Sometimes we come in with the topics and shit written down. I was like, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Just off the top.
Turn the mic on.
One thing that I'm going to talk about that I love is, I took an Uber here, right? And when I need to be somewhere fast, I want some beat to shit car to show up at my front door. Because I know his ass or her ass or their ass is going to get me there on time because they don't give a damn. If I see a Nissan Altima show up with duct tape on the taillight and a dent in the front, I'm probably going to get there earlier. I got in an Uber on the way here, and the headliner was falling down on my head.
Oh, no.
And I knew right away I was gonna be all right. Maybe not physically. Maybe I was gonna have one butt cheek off the seat, gripping that handle where you're supposed to hang shit from, that nobody does anymore.
The handle is actually to help you get in and out of the car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's to make me feel safer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, when he's flying through.
Yeah.
But I know I am not going to be late. So that is just one thing that I wanted to say is that I shout out to all the Uber drivers out there with the beat up cars. You are good enough, and there is a place for you. And JB loves you. And you may scare the shit out of me sometimes. But thank you for getting to. I've never had an issue where there was a crash. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But if your car's falling apart, I know that you're probably going to get me there exactly when I need to be there. So shout out to that. I just want to say that. Shout out to all the Uber drivers with the beat up cars, man.
Wow.
You don't need to pick me up in some 2024 BMW. Okay. Pick me up in the 1998 Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
That I could hear coming from down the block, and has a rattle somewhere that you just don't know where it's coming from. I will happily get in that car, and take a trip with you.
Yo, my frustration with Uber only came recently. I was going to and coming back from the airport last month.
Okay.
And both times. Now, you can see where the destination is when I've never been an Uber driver, but I'm pretty sure that you can see where your drop-off is. And I also know that dropping someone off at the airport is guaranteed money.
Yes.
Like, you drop me off, somebody at the airport is going to need a ride from the airport to wherever.
Definitely.
So why in the entire fuck would you pull up with your little hatchback Toyota Cross with barely enough trunk space to fit half a body, but you driving me to the airport? Like, where the fuck am I supposed to put my luggage?
Yeah.
Like, you should have, no. I feel like shit like that makes me want to just automatically pay more for an Uber XL. Because I got stuff.
I think that's what they want you to do.
That's what they want you to do. Like, but you as the person driving the Uber, wouldn't you think, and then got the nerve to have something in your little ass trunk. Like, you an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna need that trunk space. It's beautiful when an Uber driver pulls up and I gotta put something in the trunk and they open the trunk and all I see in the trunk is a case of water. Mm-hmm. And that case of water is usually for your clients, for your riders.
Some of them will even get out the car and will put the luggage in the trunk for you.
9 out of 10 have done that. Like, honestly.
That's
I don't
always
even think
nice.
that I've ever experienced an Uber driver, thank God, that hasn't helped me with my bags. Cause like, yo, I'm a musician. I'm traveling with a guitar, a Rolling Pelican case, and my suitcase. That's minimum. There's been times when I've spent $150 just to check bags.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Begrudgingly, but I have to do it. So miss me with that. You pulling up in the Toyota Cross, the little hatchback, the little tennis shoe looking shit with no trunk, and you talking about you gonna take me to the airport.
Little egg of a
yeah,
car.
you better. I'll cancel that ride in your face. No, I won't do that. That's rude. But that
would be hard.
makes me seethe. Cause then I gotta put Baby in the back seat. Cause you know that my guitar's named Baby.
Okay.
So like I gotta put Baby in the back seat.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, you gotta say it like that too, Baby. It's not Baby, it's Baby.
It's Baby.
Yeah, Baby. Then Baby, I got Baby a case.
Where
you know
am I
what I'm
supposed to
saying?
put
She
Baby?
in the case, a little soft, travel case, but I got to put her in the back seat with me, behind your seat. Like, she don't deserve to sit in the back seat.
Not at all.
She need to be in the trunk laying flat. You know what I mean? That's how she likes it. You know?
She don't
It's bad enough I got to go to the airport and like be like cringing that these people at the airport might make me put my guitar underneath the plane. Like, that shit is like a nightmare. Like,
I bet.
No, dude, especially there was a guy. There was a musician that sued United Airlines because they broke his guitar. And he made an entire song about it and an entire music video about it. And I didn't want to fly United Airlines for like 10 years because of it.
Oh, I bet. Because, like, I would imagine that your guitar does become like your baby or your baby.
I had
and
that
it does
guitar.
become like your baby because it's, you play gigs with it. And you're hands-on with it.
That guitar I got for my 13th birthday.
Wow.
I'm 42. So that's why I'm so, like, when we went to Hawaii last year.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Baby right away. Oh, I was fit to be tied. Like, I was about to flip. I was about to be like the Hulk and flip over all them turnstiles and all them baggage
Heart
claims.
starts going.
Listen.
Face starts getting a little hot.
They don't make Baby model no more. Baby got sweat and tears and memories and stickers that don't exist no more.
There are fingerprints that are a smaller size
Bro.
than your fingers are now.
Stop it. So anybody listening to this, if you work in the airlines field, please be nice to musicians. You know what I mean? Like, don't give us a hard time where we don't want to check our guitar. Like, unless, granted, I don't have a hard case for Baby. I think that's coming this year. For me to get the hard case to where I feel a little bit safer. If they say, hey, I got to stow this under the plane, at least there's some hard shell. But I had one of those, and I went flying with it, and it came back to me cracked.
The case
The case was cracked.
Holy.
So, but we're talking about 15, 20 years ago. They make them a little different than they did back then. That was the original case from when I was 13. So it probably was starting to, plastic was probably starting to get brittle.
Yeah, maybe there was some dry rot
weather.
going on.
Yeah,
something like that.
But still, like, fortunately, investing in, like, I got these cases because I travel. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. I think I'll talk about one more thing because I know a couple people were saying that they felt like our episodes were too short, so we could take a little bit more time.
Yeah, we'll make this a little longer. Thank you to all those people.
Thank you, man. We really appreciate everybody that's been listening. Continue to share. And
that felt great to hear. Honestly, it made me feel good.
Yeah, man. I really genuinely am enjoying publicizing our conversations.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. Like, at first I was like, this is just something for, my friends and family to listen to and that don't hear from me as much. And also it just gives me a record of some of the crazy shit that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But thank you to everyone who's been giving us great responses and great feedback, telling us you enjoy the stuff we're talking about. You listen to it going to or from work. And certain things made you laugh because that genuinely does brighten up my day and does make me feel good. So
For sure.
Shout out to everybody who listens and also the people overseas who are listening.
Love y'all.
Yeah, that this is amazing. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for, even if you listen for a few minutes, thank you. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So last thing, we was talking about pets before.
Yeah.
And now the animals went back into their place where they go. So my wife and I were talking about like cats and dogs, right? Okay. And I think I was driving her to the train, and she was like, "Oh, that dog, that puppy is so cute." She was like, "I'm not really a dog person, She was like, "The smell of them She was like, I'd much rather deal with the smell of our cats. She was like, I like that mushroom toast smell.
The mushroom toast smell. Okay.
So I have hairless cats. And one of them especially, he has like no hair. The other one, for some reason now, he's like fuzzy.
I saw that. He looked like, initially when he hopped up on my lap, he looked like a lion cub to me.
Yeah. And he's got this fuzz.
Yeah.
Like this full like body kind of fuzz. Is he still... Well, I guess he's not hairless, but he got this body fuzz.
Fuzzy.
But like, I'm like, yeah, yo, because dogs got this smell that's like their breath and their spit is everywhere. Like, and the bones, their rawhide chew bone. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, you walk into somebody's house, yes, you can tell if there's cats from litter box, right? But like a dog smell, that's different. Like a dog, I don't know, yo.
I will say that, as somebody who grew up with both, I never had hairless cats.
Yeah.
I had, cats with fur, and we had Misty, and then my mother had a cat named Keeks, and then there was a cat that my mom and her fiance they took from my brother that ended up being pregnant, and now my mom has a cat named River because that cat had 2 kittens, River and Meadow. And somebody who loves both. Dogs, you're definitely on the slobber thing.
Yeah.
It does depend on the breed.
Yeah.
It does, like, there are some dogs that slobber a lot more than others. But there is, to a degree, definitely going to be more of that. But, I mean, I had greyhounds, and they, when they're drinking, the greyhounds are very clean dogs. They didn't really smell.
That's nice. But they don't have a lot of hair.
They don't. Yeah. And also, I'm not going to lie, when you are a pet owner, you do become a bit nose blind to the smell of your animal.
Yeah.
So
I ain't nose blind to these little stinking motherfuckers, though. They be smelly sometimes. But like, I call Garbanzo stinking.
I feel like the hairless cats, though, they have more of a stink. Just be in the skin.
Yeah, the skin and their little butthole is like all the way exposed,
right out there,
bro. Put that shit away.
Honestly, the nuts are out there in the air.
Yeah.
There's no fur to be a buffer.
Nah.
Between your nose and their nuts.
Right, and their little empty ball sack, yo. It's like, what you doing with that?
But I will say, dogs, one thing that I always notice with any dog I've ever had is their feet will never not smell like Fritos.
Fritos? What the hell's that?
Their feet will never not smell like some Fritos.
Corn chip foot.
So
what is that?
That is something that you definitely have to get used to with dogs. I also, though, I had a rabbit. I think every animal has a smell that you're going to have to get used to if you want to. Like, I had a rabbit, and his feet kind of had, I'm trying to think of the right way to put it. Like, it was like his feet kind of, urine.
Pew.
They kind of smelled like, but not like fresh urine. It like was toned down. It didn't sting the nostrils with a pure ammonia, but it was still like you had to kind of get used to it. It kind of had a little bit of a smell. And to be honest, because we loved him, we did. And it became a funny thing. And we would smell his little rabbit feet and we'd go, oh, your feet stink. And like, because that's what you do. When you love somebody, you deal with some of the smells and stuff like that.
That's what you deal with these guys. It's like, sometimes my wife said, they stink so good. Like, she's like, he smells fresh baked. I'm like, he get his fresh baked ass out of my face.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Take your little ass over there.
That's one thing you got to get used to about cats is they are going to put their butthole in your face.
Butthole. I always push the tail down. And the thing is, the tail is up means they're happy. And so my cat's tail is always up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great, you're a happy cat, but your butt stink. Can you put that little thing, put that little raisin away?
Get your butthole out
Get your butthole out of here, bro. Like, I don't need to see that. I don't want to smell that. Every time they sit on me, I tuck their tail under because I don't even want that touching my pants.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes after it's one of them been sitting on my lap and then they leave and then another one come and then they sniff my leg and then they make that face. They sniff it and then they make that. I wish y'all could see my face right now. They just open their mouth
open
like
the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
That's because they're trying to get more of the smell I read that online. They do that because they actually have scent things in the top of their mouth, in the roof of their mouth. So they do that, especially when another cat urinates on something, or another cat, like you said, probably had his asshole right on your thigh. They are trying to get as much of the pheromones and the smell in to like identify it and something like that. That's why they do that. Because they can smell through their mouth.
Oh God.
Yeah. Sometimes my cat sits on my leg and I could feel the hot, the butthole is hot.
Hot butt.
The hot butthole.
Oh my God.
I'm like, did you just get out the litter box,
bro,
and just put your asshole right on me?
Yo, dude. And
Not
then
cool.
they always gotta tell you that they gotta go to the bathroom. At least Garbanzo, he always makes this announcement. He's like, then go.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then they get the zoomies after he goes, and then you run. Like, what, you running from the scene of the crime because you just dropped a bomb and I gotta clear out of here. Because it's just, God damn it, why do you smell like that?
Yeah.
Like what? Like Garbanzo came from Moscow. My wife,
Russia.
I was highly against this, but she's like, I'm buying a hairless cat. And I'm like, we're supposed to rescue cats. But I want him. Okay, fine. And so she paid for this cat. Come on the plane. Like a guy brought her with the papers and he's wearing this little sweater. Man, he stunk to high heaven. That's part of the reason why I call him Stanky right now. He smells so bad, bro. I'm like, what is that? And half of it was the sweater. And then I take the sweater off.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? So he's like my cat because when we brought him home, Bianca started like trying to protect Walter from him. Like, Walter's the older cat. So there's this kitten in the house. And you're supposed to keep them separate anyway at first.
Yeah.
So until they get used to each other. But it was just like, she was protecting Walter from Garbanzo. And I was like, why you shunning the new cat?
Yeah.
And so then I was just always playing with him and holding him. And so he became my cat.
Yeah, he got attached to you.
Yeah, and only until about a year ago, he started really like laying on her and letting her pick him up. He didn't really like fuck with her like that. Like he did. Oh, you feed me.
Yeah,
you
cool.
sleeping with no clothes on, so you just like me.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was bonded to you.
He was bonded to me, but he doesn't like sleeping next to me because I'm mostly clothed when I go to bed. I mean, I don't think it's a mystery. A lot of people like to sleep naked, so I don't think this like TMI as far as like, oh, my wife, she doesn't necessarily naked, but like she definitely wears less clothes than me. Like for her, it's like a heat thing. So it's like the cats want to be like right up. They want to be like right up on her.
Okay.
Right up on her body. Right on her. Garbanzo sleeps by her feet, and he puts his little paws like on her legs, like it warm. Like he's letting her leg like warm his little paws. It's so cute. But he don't do that to me because he knows like if I move, I'm gonna crush you.
Yeah.
Like so I like to toss and turn and switch positions, and I gotta sleep with the pillow between my knees because I got the back. That's best for your back. Like if you got lower back problems, if you put a pillow between your knees, it helps so much if you're a side sleeper.
Okay.
Or
so
like
that's what that does.
yeah, it really does help a lot. But yeah, like these animals in my house.
I want to say my girl puts a pillow between her knees because she can't fall asleep if her knees are touching.
That is so cute.
If her knees, shout out to you, babe. If her knees are touching, she can't fall asleep. She hates it. It's weird. So she always has to have a pillow between her.
That's so interesting. Yeah.
How certain people sleep.
Dang. That's interesting. Yeah, sleeping will mess you up. You can get messed up sleeping.
Yeah.
You get injured sleeping.
You can.
You wake up and can't move your neck. Sleep wrong.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to sleep with I fall asleep like this with my toe I'm like
curled
under, right?
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes I fall asleep like that. Like if I on my side, or like I usually don't sleep on my stomach anymore. But depending on how I'm laying, or like I don't know, it's weird. But then when I unbend the toe, oh my God, the pain.
I bet.
Like it's just so strange how we sleep. Like I sleep with my arms up above my head.
Yeah.
I didn't start doing that till I got married. Like until I started like being around my wife, and I think I was like, why am I never did. I never slept with my arms up, but for some reason it's so comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's slept in bed with a woman knows that there are, a lot of times they take up a lot of space.
Yeah, her and these two cats take up like 3/4 of the bed. I get
somehow.
the edge. I get to decide, like, so much so that
Yeah.
if I just move over a little bit, like, there's an indentation on the side of the bed where I sleep, and
Yeah.
then I move over, and I feel like I'm on a hill. And her and the
That's the
cats
way
are
it
over
goes.
there taking up and these
That's
cats
the
can
way
take
it
up the
goes.
whole couch. Sometimes we sit on the couch, and I
Yeah.
want to sit down. She's on the couch, the cat's on the couch. Where I'm gonna sit? What y'all doing? Y'all little two animals, but y'all taking up space like two other people.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Somehow that's always going to happen.
When you gonna pay rent?
Yeah. I personally, I salute to her though. I couldn't sleep with. I love my cats, but I can't sleep if they're touching me. I can't have it. Which the funny thing is, the boy one, he loves to be like up against my legs.
Yeah.
But at this point, he doesn't even try because I just don't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do you. I don't know. I just can't sleep with him laying up against me. You could sleep off to the side, but do not touch me when I'm sleeping. In the sense of like the cats.
Yeah.
I got no problem sleeping with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the cats pressing on my legs. So
Yeah, don't be pressing me.
yeah,
Feline.
yeah, let me sleep.
Yeah, because you already think you own me anyway.
And then next thing I know, I'm gonna wake up with your asshole on my face.
Asshole.
Not
On your
J-
forehead.
Not JB the jeweler. Not today, not ever.
Well, and on that note,
That's it. I think for today.
that's a wrap, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening as always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And then we definitely catch you on the next episode of Somebody Come Look at This.